Hey guys, my name is Chrissy Smith, and I'm your host of Nine Lives Energy. And together we energize your body from the inside out. I want to give a little shout out to my friends at Body Align for this bracelet. They really have helped me with my headaches, and they have decreased in the amount of headaches that I have a week since using the product. And we need to really protect ourselves from some of this technology that we use, and because it does affect us on the cellular level. Another product that I am promoting is the aceta redox signaling molecules. Today I am drinking the Mind because I want to make sure that I am super sharp to ask Deborah all these questions that I have for her this afternoon regarding the full moon in Sagittarius. Are you ready to have some fun this afternoon, Miss Deborah?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, tell us what is going on with the universal energies and what we should be expecting here in the next few weeks.
Well, I tell you what, this morning, what dropped in was come along and ride on this fantastic voyage.
Yeah.
So that was what I got that dropped in this morning. And the first thing that happened, and we are into June, this is the first day of June. And when I say a lot has been happening since this spring equinox came in, I mean, we had some stuff that's going on. We had two new moons. We had just so much happening here and there in the planetary world and the cosmic world is saying, hey, y'all, listen to me. I'm talking here. And so this communication that's going on between the heavens and the earth and us tapping in is just very powerful at this time. So now, June the 21st, we are getting ready to have our spring equinox. And I'm like, geez, this stuff is happening very fast.
I was
So
just
as
about
I
to say that. Yep, very fast.
very fast. I mean, this astrological new year came in with a bang and it shifted our new moons and full moons as to when they are happening. The full moon is happening at the beginning of the month, and the new moon is happening at the end of the month. We had eclipse season, so we won't see that again until October, but making very powerful statements, and it comes to wake us up, and it's like, wow. So we are waking up even the more consciousness is happening when we say, we are waking up to what? More consciousness. And this big event that's happening today because you've got the North Node as well as Jupiter, they're conjunct. They're at 3 degrees. That's the creative number in numerology. So I'm like, wow. So when you look at Jupiter and that optimistic and it's expansive, it's the luck, it's beautiful and all these beautiful things. And then it's right there in that North Node that is in Taurus. And the North Node has been speaking to us for us to have more self-worth. So our self-worth is at the center of attention in this conjunction to say, come on, people, you can create whatever it is. Realize more and more that you are a creator to do creative things here on the earth. And I'm like, if that's not enough to get you excited, because that is definitely happening in the earth sign of Taurus and all this Taurus energy that's there. I'm like, wow, you got Mercury that's still there communicating, and you got Jupiter, you got the North Node, and then you have Uranus, which is one of our generational planets that goes slow, but at the same time, all of it's making a statement. So I'm like, wow, then we got Mars that's sitting over here in Leo, and then Venus is going to join it, and it's going to join it on 6-5. And I'm like, oh, the love, the romance is moving into Leo. So Chrissy was saying earlier that it didn't feel like that releasing time with this full moon that is coming. She just wants to have fun.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so
I
I'm
was
like,
just thinking, I was like, I think this full moon, you know how people they talk about people get all crazy during the full moons. And I think that it's showing a light on the darkness, but I think that it's also shining a light on, you know what? Let's shine a light on some of this stuff over here that you've been neglecting in your life, that you need to have some fun. You've worked real hard over the last 2 years to be at this spot, 3 years really, if you count March of 2020. And it's like, you know what? Let's just have some fun. So I am a Leo rising, and I'm really excited about this because I have Mars and Venus that are in my sign. So tell us what this full moon in Sagittarius is going to be doing
I
for us.
sure will. Well, first of all, a lot of people who may be tuning in new, it's like, what in the world are they talking about the full moon? And I mean, people talk about the full moon, but energetically, the full moon is seen as that time to help us to release, or as I like to say, detach from what's no longer serving. And it's allowing us to come back into this neutral state of balance. So as soon as we get things back in the balance on a monthly basis, because this does happen on a monthly basis, the moon goes through the zodiac signs every 29.5 days, and each sign every 2.5 days. So this is the time of month when we are again detaching and letting go, and it's a time that where the energy peaks at the full moon, and then this big release, and then it's almost like this big cosmic high. I read that the other day, and I was like, that just explains it so well. And with this, it's Sagittarius, where Sagittarius is this fiery, just fire about what? It's the gypsy, it's the student, it's the seeker, it's the philosopher, it's the shaman, and it's a mutable sign, and it actually rules the ninth house of astrology. And based on, my studying, I found out that the ninth house it's this most powerful house in astrology, and it deals with our destiny, it deals with luck, good fortune, paternal side, father, our grandfather, social image, fame and name in society, our religious state, spirituality, high learning, high level knowledge, degree, traveling. And so to bring it down to just where we are right now, it's about education and travel. So Sagittarius just loves the travel. And I'm going to take a pause right here because I don't know if many people know it or not, but Tina Turner was a Sagittarius.
Oh, wow.
Yes, her birthday was 11/26. So you see all that fire in there that was going and going and going. Mm-hmm. She had that chi, that energy, and definitely traveled all over. And it also has to do with our teachers and our gurus that are shown in our lives through different people, circumstances, spaces, and culture. And it also has to do with what we believe in, because Jupiter is its ruling planet. Mm-hmm. So again, we think about where Jupiter's placement is. It is in Taurus, and then the Sagittarius full moon coming too. So yes, when Saturday gets here, it gives us the opportunity to look into those different areas that I spoke in, whether it's religion, our beliefs, whether it's our father. I had father pain in my life, and I've dealt with that. So it still goes back to Chiron, that's in Aries, because when we take care of those childhood wounds, then we are on this healing path. And with Sagittarius, that is where the house of the centaur, where it's half horse and it's half male, human. The bottom part, the body part, that is the horse part, and the upper part, that's the male, which has to do with our instincts, living from our instincts, but getting the best out of it. And so when you look at its opposite, which is Gemini, where the sun is located right now, and Gemini has to do with our elementary education. So these two opposites of each other are coming together at this full time coming together at this time to say, can you imagine when all of these releases that we are letting go of, that we are detaching from, this big, wonderful, I call her Mama Moon because that's my ruling planet by being Cancer. And so I have imagined each month that collectively, the more of us who know that this is the time when we detach and that we let go of those things that are no longer serving us, whether it's I should have went to school, shouldn't have went to school, this happened to me when I was in school, that didn't happen to me when I was in school. And as we can see, what's on our system platter now is in regard to education is very big, out in the media, out in all kinds of uproar, this person, that person, parenting, they should have the right to say this, shouldn't have the right to say that, can't read this book, can't allow this. And so it's a lot of chaotic stuff. So, but we can look forward to the changes that are going to happen in it. And so since Sagittarius focuses in on that, those are things, again, that we can concentrate on detaching from so that we can open our space up even from a grander place to move into those areas that are, because not only does Jupiter offer higher education, but higher education in what? Astrology. Whew, yeah, different things in learning. So this full moon, and it's called the strawberry moon. So I kind of like tried to wear something a little strawberry.
I did a little bit too.
See, that's instinct, and at the same time, it's intuition. So as I said, that state of neutrality for balance, that's the whole purpose of the full moon, the new moon, bringing everything into balance because of what the Taurus energy wants to continue to convey to us, knowing what our self-worth is. We cannot put enough value on ourselves. And so that's what this big awakening is about. And Jupiter being its big self is saying, okay, come on now, wake up even the more so that your creative self, your divine self, can be that guidance that comes through so that we will know what to do economically, because that's what Taurus is about. It's our agriculture, so we'll know what foods to eat and what not to eat, and the physical body. So taking care of ourselves. So there is some releasing, and at the same time, Chrissy, we can have us some fun because Leo is from the heart. It's very heart-centered, and it's also your entertainers. And I'm not surprised that Tina Turner passed in this time because it was right at that time when Pluto is in Aquarius and it's opposite of the Mars that's in Leo. And again, the Pluto, that's the transformation. It's death and regeneration. So death is a process of our living experience. And so we can see some more stars that leave out here, and it can be stars in our short world as well. So that's what I see is happening with this beautiful big fat full moon that's coming. I can't wait to see it.
I'm pretty excited, and Sagittarius is all about the freedom and having fun, and so people that are trying to enforce rules or restrictions on people's freedom, that's going to be met with some resistance because people aren't going to be taking that anymore. They're like, no, I'm going to be free in my Sagittarius energy within the full moon. So there might be a little bit of pushback, from people saying, no, I'm not going to be doing that. You're not going to tell me what to do. I don't want to subscribe to this type of situation right now, whether it's in my family or if it's in education. Education, folks, doesn't have to be expensive. And, just because, we have been told for years and years, and I do teach in higher education, but if that's not, doesn't resonate with you, there's so many ways that you can educate yourself on something else. You can become a landscaper, you can become an astrologer, you can learn how to bake cakes and do that in your own business. You can design something and have like a party event planner. So, the sky is the limit, and it's what you put your energies to and what you continue to think about. It will manifest itself into being. So if you want to continue to not look at some of these things that the full moon might be addressing in your life, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to go forward, because you can't bring in the new moon energy at the end of the month if there's no room for it, because you're
Right.
so full of all these things that the full moon is shining a light on, like, hey, Chrissy, come over here and you need to address this part of your life. Let's try to get, whatever it is, more organized or have fun.
Absolutely. Because with me, in my sixth house, and I have actually got Sagittarius, and my Saturn is in Sagittarius.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, and because Saturn is all about the boundaries and helping you to not step out there so far. And I've always wanted to travel and always have liked traveling. And so I know that that's one of my things, because again, I don't have my list is so big, I had to make it a barge list. So I called it my barge list of things to still be done. So again, with this fiery energy that's in the heavens, that's meeting out across the Gemini, the air, that's a whole lot of chi, whole lot of chi.
Mhm.
And so that is where we can step in. Because when I tell you, I was around here today, I was like, girl, you've been like an energizer bunny. You can already feel the energy that's coming down to energize us, and you can physically get more things done. And I have, and I've enjoyed it. And I was like, wow, let this fire just stay lit for a good while. And,
You
and
can
so
have some of mine, Deb.
say it again.
I said, you can have some of mine, Deb. I've been going since like 5:30.
Let me see. I woke up about 6. Well, thank you, because you got enough to share. My goodness gracious. When I say you got some chi energy, you got some chi energy, all that fire in your chart. And so that was one of my missing elements in starting, was because I had so much water in there, and adding fire to it. Water can put fire out. And so that's what I have to be mindful of, looking in those different areas where my fire can be easily put out, and mine can easily be put out. And I would be bold enough to say that I'm not the only one that it happens to, is based on what I tell myself. And then not only that, there's another culprit of what other people say.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that can quickly put your fire out. But becoming that self-aware person, becoming that bold person, because that's Leo, courage, loving life, and it's no matter what that narrative is, you'd be like, nope, that's not true. And that's true for Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about truth, not about beliefs, because beliefs are generally formed from tradition, culture, and religion, and helps to keep us enslaved in the mind.
Yeah.
And so breaking, like you said, that freedom, there is nothing like freedom, but experiencing it is a different thing. And the more that we see that we have been enslaved, and it doesn't matter whether you black, white, purple, or pink, when we look at the different things that have happened as far as the leadership that has been concerned in our world today, now that we are waking up and we are rebelling, and we're rebelling in a good way, not anything that's violent. So I'm definitely not talking about violence, but the actions that we're taking individually as well as collectively. As I said, if you can just capture just the vision of that our energies that we are letting go, and this moon is just enveloping all of that, taking all of our cares and our concerns up with it, and it knows what to do with it. It is in an atmosphere that is limitless. And so as we just continue to do that, and then when the new moon comes, we open up ourselves for those creative ideas to add to what it is that we are already pursuing, our purposes, our hobbies, the things that we love. And you were talking about making cakes, and my sister had given me a KitchenAid mixer because everybody loves my sweet potato pies. And so my brother, he used to call them prosperity pies when he was alive. Hey, say, that's my brother. He transitioned 4/22/21. And so he used to call them prosperity pies. And so I went to my niece's home yesterday, and we made a cake together. And she, oh my goodness gracious, she can make some of the most tasty, beautiful cakes. I'm like, just a gift. And then I remembered how my mother, every weekend, my mother was in the kitchen cooking this wonderful cake for us to have dessert. And I was like, that energy was passed on. That energy was passed on, and that's a gift.
Yeah.
And so when my sister gave me the KitchenAid, and I was like, wow, I can really make some more pies now. And my orders had started picking up, and just I did some good pie orders last month. So having newness, welcoming newness in our abundance, because abundance is everywhere. That's another thing that Taurus wants us to be aware of, that it is already in our presence, and what we're doing with what we have, because that is the key word for Taurus, is I have. And so it's just a beautiful happening right now. And if we can just conceive it, because there's infinite possibilities, not just possibilities. That's what Jupiter represents. Infinite possibilities, not just the square word of possibilities, but they're infinite. This earth is plentiful for us all. Yes, there's poisoning systems that are going on, and we are waking up. We're becoming aware of that. And that is the beautiful thing that is happening in all these energies that are taking place. Then guess what? We have Pluto that's going to regress back into Capricorn, and that is going to happen on 6/11. And so with Pluto going back into Capricorn, as we can see, our government, they have a hard time deciding on what should be, and they come to some concessions and they say yes. So Pluto, again, is one of those generational planets, which tells us that this is a slow process that's happening. These changes that we want to happen immediately, it is very, very slow. I mean, even when Pluto went into Aquarius, the first thing that jumped on stage was AI. AI hasn't just been in existence. This has been going on. And again, here it is. Now it is, before, some people talking about how harmful it is, some people talking about how helpful it is. Talk to the universe, talk to the energy when you're out walking around the parks or whatever it is, or when you're exercising, when you're grocery shopping. Let that energy that is intuitively, and not only intuitively, we have that part that's instinctual too. You can't throw the instinctual part out. Again, it has to just come to that neutrality, that place of balance. If we remember balance in all that we do, then our life will continue to have the momentum that it needs to, and it is very organic.
Well, I know that, when I look at technology, and you were talking about AI, it can be used for good or it can be used for not so good. And, for example, sitting in front of the computer all the time, we are natural human beings, like being outside in the grass, barefooted, getting rid of some of that frequency that you may have picked up from, your computer. Some people I think are more sensitive to it than others. I think I might be one of those people. And it's just making sure, like, hey, it's all right to, Prince was famous for saying this. He said, it's all right to use the computer, but don't let the computer use you. And, I'm very thankful for technology because, like, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be able to help more people than just in my spot where I live. And the way that I can put exercise videos out there, and the way that I can put information about different health and wellness topics can help other people, and not just the people that I see all the time. And I tell my students that when you heal yourself, you heal the world. So using technology as a means to connect to people is one thing, but using technology as a way to control people because they end up getting addicted to it and they don't know how to use it in a helpful and loving way or an ascension type way. I think that people just need to kind of recognize how they're using the technology. Are they using it just to numb themselves because they're bored and they scroll TikTok? Or are they using it in a creative way to do something that is going to be helpful for themselves and also for other people?
Well, that's one reason why Saturn is very active in Pisces now, because Pisces is the place where addictions are there. And so this is also during this full moon time that we can look and see what new addictions, because again, Jupiter on the low energy, low frequency side, that is when we can overdo, when there is excess of whatever. So here again, we can examine and look from within. Where do I have the excess that is not serving me, that is not from that optimistic perspective that Jupiter has? Again, it is the balance, because if you don't have enough of whatever it is that you're doing, it's just as off balance as having it in excess. So Saturn is in Pisces for us to look at those delusional things through the eyes of Neptune, having taken off those rose-colored glasses, so that our boundaries, we can really redo what our boundaries are, because a lot of our boundaries are limitations based on what we have believed, what we've been taught. And again, it goes right to this ninth house of Sagittarius. And as we know, 9 is the ending number of a cycle, because we start over with 0. And when you look at how the number 9 is shaped, got the cosmic egg at the top, and then it has the number 1, which is always up. And it's at the top, that cosmic egg, which is the 0, which new beginnings are getting ready to happen. We're starting over in a new cycle. And so again, we get to look at, it has a lot of masculine energy in it because it's fire. And so that's when we get the action to be able to look at these versions of ourselves, our dichotomy, and coming into the oneness, just for the simplicity part of bringing it in balance. Technology is Aquarius all day long, all night long. And so as we welcome in the good of it and minimize that can be used for the not so good, that takes care of itself. It matters to what we're doing. And again, if you're staying on there, on a computer too long, know that that's unhealthy. You can check out Christy, get some of the tools that she's using that will help to prevent body harm, because these things can bother our eyes, so many body parts that it can affect. So we want to do this healthy so that we can do just what Christy said in Leo. have some fun, have some pleasure, because Taurus, you can't forget about Taurus is the pleasure sign as well. It is our senses. So you're going to smell stuff that smells good. You're going to taste stuff, and you're going to hear some good stuff. And Venus is its ruling planet. And so it just doesn't want us to become comfortable. And it doesn't want us to become so fixed, because we do still have that fixed energy in the heavens, and it's squaring. Squaring just simply means that it's very challenging. And it can be challenging in both ways, to keep you where you are, thinking that it's hard, or it can give you that necessary to continue going on to do what it is. And my daughter, her ankle has been swollen for the last couple of days. And so she's an Aquarius. She went to have an x-ray of it because it was hurting so bad. And so there's nothing broken, there's nothing fractured. And so, you know, me being mama, I was like, you know what, I wonder what is going. And boom, it dropped in today, because the physical body, part of the body that rules with Aquarius, is the ankle. And so immediately, what does the ankle do? It is the support. It is one of our support parts of our bodies. And she has been going through a lot, and Pluto is in her sign as well. So I told her, I said, baby, you got a lot of transformation going on. There's a lot of rebirth, there's a lot of death, there's a lot of regeneration going on. And I said that energy has settled in your ankle. So what I did was I recommended peppermint oil. And I know when we were growing up at night, older people would cut a slice of potato and put it in a sock. And she was like, because I'm serious, and it draws out inflammation.
Wow.
So, yes. And so, and I told her, I said, this full moon is the perfect time, ma'am, that you can look through. And I don't think she has to look far, but what I did was gave her just a nudge so that she can look into her own world to see what it is in the areas of where she's not feeling supported. Because when you don't feel supported, that's hopelessness. That's depression. And so your body just responds to you to say, hey, I need some attention over here, for the sole purpose of getting us back into balance and moving forward with it. And so when you have a little pain somewhere, get quiet, sit down, be still, so your body will know. Don't talk junk to your body. I'm fat, I'm this is not here. I got a wrinkle here, and I got this. And your body hears all of that. And so now, and that again is Taurus. We're Earth, body energy. And so appreciating, having self-love is the best thing that we can do for ourselves. It works inwardly as well as outwardly. With all this other external stuff, the controllers and all of them doing what they doing their thing, y'all go ahead and do your thing. But as for me and my house, we chilling over here. We are enjoying it. We're having fun. I love, and Leo is my second house.
Okay. Well, I'll show you the way.
Venus is in there. Uranus is in there. And Pluto is in my second house too. All in the sign of Leo. So yes, ma'am, it's on and popping. And I just had to learn how to, when my water wants to come and dash out my fire. And again, not to blame anybody else, but because I understand what energy that I give out is the energy that comes back. So the narrative, and that's what Gemini wants us to understand, is the communication. What am I receiving? Am I telling myself? What stories? And so now Those books are finished for the past for me, and now I'm on a whole new book, and it feels good. So when
Mhm.
I know that my energy is low, I know that I done put some water, I done put a fire out somewhere, and it's not ever always out, all the way out. And so it's just like getting that flame lit back again so that I can keep moving, making them wonderful sweet potato pies and there's one word that I love, and I don't know if it's a word, but it's probably in the dictionary. I'll put it in my own dictionary. And that word is yum.
Mm.
I love to hear people say that when they put a slice of my pie in their mouth. Yum.
Because that is your way of showing love, and to hear
It
someone
is.
say, that's their way of saying thank you, and that just makes my heart
Exactly.
so full. Deb and I both watch a lady called
Molly.
Molly McCord. I wanted to say Moxie Molly because that's what she is on Instagram, and she posted something today that was really cool, and I liked it. Let's see. It says, this hero isn't exactly having fun. He's getting kicked around, humiliated, and disgraced. But if we can let go of identifying him, we can find our rightful place in the universe and love more satisfying than we've ever known. People constantly throw around the term hero's journey without having any idea what it really means. Everyone from CEOs to wellness influencers think the hero's journey means facing your fears, slaying the dragon, and gaining 25,000 followers on your social media page. But that's not the real hero's journey. In fact, the real hero's journey is the dragon slays you. Much to your surprise, you couldn't make that marriage work. Much to your surprise, you turned 40 with no kids, no house, and no prospects. Much to your surprise, the world didn't want the gifts you proudly offered it. If you are foolish, this is where you will abort the journey and start another and another, abusing your heart over and over again for the brief illusion of winning. But if you are wise, you will let yourself be shattered and return to the village humbled and with a newfound sense that you don't have to identify with the part of you that needs to win, that needs to be recognized, that needs to know. This is where your transcendent life begins. So embrace the humility in everything. Life is not out to get you, nor are your struggles your fault. Every defeat is just an angel tugging at your sleeve, telling you that you don't have to keep banging your head against the wall. Leave that striver there, trapped in its lonely ambitions. Just walk away, and life in its vastness will embrace you. So basically, don't keep subscribing to all these things that people are telling you that you need to subscribe to that are going to make you happy, they're going to make you feel good. If you are in this relationship and you're like, this is not serving me anymore, why are you here? If you are in a job and you're like, man, I hate driving to work. If you have gotten to a point where you hate driving to work, it may be time to find another job, because I have always loved driving to work. And when I don't enjoy driving to work anymore, I know that I need to be looking at something else to make myself happy in a good way. And sometimes that good way can be a newfound energy and love for my profession. And that's exactly what I did in January. And, it has just allowed me to look at some of my faults. And even if I don't think something is perfect, I post it anyway. We're doing some of these lives now on YouTube. So I don't have to say, I don't like this and let's cut this part out and I don't like this there. And I'm like, it is what it is. And, as I put stuff out there, I grow, Deborah grows. So do you have anything else to add before we close this afternoon, Deb?
Well, you know what, Chrissy? I think that we pretty much said a lot. And again, the summer solstice that's going to happen on the 21st.
Yeah.
And we just we do have Saturn that's going to go retrograde.
On
And
the 11th.
yes,
Deb
it's
and I
going to go
Deb and I are
retrograde.
attending a workshop, a webinar about this. So we'll have to have a little information session after we watch that webinar on June 11th. I'm excited.
Yeah, so it's going retrograde on the 17th, and it has, again, all to do with boundaries. So if people want to be thinking about again, because just think about it. If you're a centaur, which is a very mythological creature, half man and half horse, but it keeps the imagination alive. And so I know when Einstein was asked the question as to where did his brilliance come from, that was the response that he gave, was his imagination being alive. He was like, keep your imagination. So if there is one thing that I can say, there's no dream too small. There's no dream too big. It belongs to you. And so there are some people that you may want to tell, only share what you want to share with individuals who are going to give you that feed up, not the feedback, but that feed up that's going to be in tune. And if you actually hear someone that doesn't agree with what you have in mind, then go within to say, is this something that I'm repeating back to myself? Are they being a voice to say what I really do think down within? Because you do have to go deep down within. And a lot of times we get offended of those things. And again, our feelings are hurt because of those things. But are those words that I have really repeated to myself? Because again, this is all about energy.
Yeah.
And so thank you for allowing me to be on Nine Lives Energy. Thank you for being the host of this wonderful energy that we have going here. I look so forward to it each time. So thank you. And thank everybody that's tuning in and enjoying. And I know something. I was going to say, I hope something was said that would help to enlighten your life. I know, because that is the intention between Chrissy and I, that your life becomes more enlightened, and that you can trust yourself and that you can heal and just grow to be this wonderful, optimistic person that you already are.
I started thinking, I was like, okay, somebody had mentioned something that I watch about, you need to have a mantra. And it just kind of came to me suddenly. And it's like, we are a physical being. I mean, we are a spiritual being having a human experience, and we are divided in what I think are 4 different parts. And so my mantra was, or is, I love my spirit. I love my heart. I love my mind, and I love my body. I love this physical body that I have in order to do the things that I want to do with my spirit and my heart and my mind. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for being able to be here with you today, Deb.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And if you are interested in getting a birth chart reading by Deborah Robinson, it makes a little bit more sense, and you can kind of see maybe some areas of your life that maybe you have had some challenges, and then maybe be able to see how you experience those challenges and maybe what your response was. And maybe some of us, might get caught in these loops, and it could be these loops that we get stuck in because of the stories that we tell ourselves. So if you would like a birth chart reading that's a little bit more personalized than something that is kind of a little chit chat and discussion about the universal energies that are going on as a collective, because these are a little bit more broader topics than being specific to you. We have Deb's information underneath her name on her thumbnail there. And then we also have it listed in the description as well as on the ticker at the bottom. So it is R Robin, just like the bird, number 12 at bellsouth.net. And if you are interested in subscribing to my channel and you got something out of this, please make sure that you like this video and that you comment on it and subscribe. It does help get the information out there. We do a variety of topics that are of interest to me, because I have spent my 25 years of life educating myself on the health and wellness field and the industry. And so I have a wealth of knowledge, and I know what products work in order to help you energize your body from the inside out on Nine Lives Therapy. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Bye-bye.